The tree we're going to use to make the kite is an elder. It holds on to dead sticks that grow nice and straight. I'll just climb in here and see. Right. Go for. There we go. And you can see it's really easy to break off a long straight section. It's really light, which makes it ideal for kite making. You can tell it's elder because it has this knobbly bark. It splits, it divides in pairs at the branches, and the leaves, they won't be on for much longer. There you go. You've got an end leaf, and again coming off in pairs. So now you've gone out and you've gathered your sticks. We've got a variety here, different thicknesses, but they're all fairly straight, which is quite good. Now, of course, if you don't have access to parkland or gardens where the elder grows, cheap solution is just a little bag of bamboo skewers. They're fairly long and they're quite strong and resilient. Just be wary. What I would do is cut the sharp tips off. If we did need to make a longer one, of course, we can just double them up and tape round that. But I think I'm going to have a go at, like I did with my earlier one, this one was just made out of the elder branches. We'll have a go. So we've got our sticks, we've got some thick duct tape, some thick sellotape. I've got some thinner stuff. It's a contrasting colour, a different colour, just so when we're doing the build things stick out a little bit better. We've got a nice pair of sharp scissors. Of course, if using cutting tools, using scissors, let's have some parental supervision around the young people. Ball of string, nothing fancy. I mean, I guess you could use fishing line if you had that around. This is just a ball of string out Poundland. For the sticks, it can be useful to have a set of garden shears, just to snip it down to length. But this stuff's so brittle, we might actually be able to snap it where we want it. So let's look at the shape. The kite, of course, two triangles, a kind of squat, short triangle at the top, and then this taller triangle at the bottom. And we're going to make that initial shape by forming a cross. So with our sticks, I'm going to take a fairly long and straight one, snap that there. That's going to give us the height, and that, I might want to go a little bit wider than that. Let's go, yep, and we'll go across there. Very rough measurements. Now what I need to do is just fix the two together. And we'll do that with some of the thinner tape. I think sellotape would work. You'd probably use rubber bands. It'd be a little bit fiddly, but it would work. And what I'm going to do is just take off quite a long piece. Okay. And then I'm going to strap it up in a sort of crisscross diagonal fashion. So you can see what I've done there. Gone diagonally, and then I'm going to go diagonally in the other direction. And that very quickly gives us quite a tight and secure cross. Now, of course, the less tape we use, the less weight we have on the kite, which is better. But that now, that's pretty sturdy. What I need to do now is create the rest of the shape of the kite. And I'll find some sticks about the same length. Let's go with that. So you can see they do snap down quite easily. Okay. So just measure them out. What I might do is actually try and use one piece of tape to fix two sticks on. So I'm going to get another one this length, just check that is right. Yep, we've got the bottom section of our kite, one of the bigger pieces of tape, join those two together, And then we're going to attach it on the bottom there. It doesn't matter too much about the angles at the moment, because when we attach them up here, we can get them secure in position. So a long piece of tape just wrapping over, and press it down as much as we can to hold them in place. Remember, less is more. We don't want that added weight with too much tape. So now I just need to attach them here and here. I might try the same thing by getting these two pieces ready, attach them with just one piece of tape. And there we go, so our two top pieces. That's a bit long. I'm going to secure them in the same way as we did the lower piece, with one big bit of tape. And then fold it over the top on itself. And what I'm doing is I'm squeezing in the corners as well, so the tape, even though there's no stick in between, it's sticking back onto itself and gives us a nice tight grip. So you can see it's starting to take shape. Just got one more to add on there, which was this one. A little bit long, so let's trim that top off. Oh, I didn't even need the garden shears, so that's just breaking really nicely. Of course, if we were using the bamboo canes, they are quite tough, so a tool to cut them would be useful. I'm going to attach the top first. So lay the piece of tape on, and back over on itself, squeezing it together where I can. Final join. Last three bits to go together. It's quite handy having the tape pre-cut. I mean, there was no exact size there, but just having a few bits and pieces, because holding it and then cutting tape could be quite fiddly. There we go, so there we've got our kite shape. Next thing we need to do is put the skin on it, the shell. We're just using a plastic bag. Now we could mark round a bigger bin bag to get the exact shape. I'm going to do it fairly easy way. I'm going to take a small plastic bag, pop the kite in, and align that top arm up with the top of the bag. Pull it quite tight. Now I'm just going to tape it in place. And a long piece along that edge. Alright, so taking shape, I might just tidy that up a little bit with a bit more tape. Actually, what I think I want to do is I'm going to do tape all around the edges, just to ensure we've got a nice tight fit. Because we've not used so much on the build, sort of holding the frame together, I think we might get away with it weight wise. Finish up the edges there. Okay, so definitely kite shaped. So now we've got our frame, we need to add the strings to it. Now this bit can be a little bit tricky. What I'm going to decide is which side I want the wind to catch. Now this side has least folds, nothing, and that's just one smooth clean surface, so I want that to be the underside of the kite, and that's what's going to hang in the wind. So that means I want my string on this side. So first thing I'm going to do is get a loop of string that's going to wrap around the middle of the kite. Once he finds the end, I'm going to cheat and make an end. There we go. And for this, we want a piece that is 1, 2, 3 times the width of the kite at the widest part. What I'm going to do now Nothing fancy, just knot that together. Okay, so now we have a loop. I'm just going to go around the kite, giving us an attachment there. Now to hold that in place, I'll put a long bit of tape across the back. So lie that string down. I'll make sure the tape goes all the way to the edges to hold the string in place. I might need a little bit more. I'll make sure it's just going over the corner there, right on the tip of that triangle. Okay, so we've got the same on both sides. So this is where our string is going to attach to, but we don't want the kite to be able to flop around like that. We actually need to attach another piece of string from the tip of the kite down to this string here, and that is going to hold it in position as it flies up in the air. Now to do that, I'm going to take a very long piece of string, because this is actually going to double up as the tail of the kite. So what have we got there? That's probably 1, 2, let's go 3 times the length of the kite. So the first loop was 3 times the width. This is going to be 3 times the length from top to bottom. What I'm going to do now is tie this piece of string onto the middle of this loop. Any way will do, as long as it's nice and secure. We do not want this coming off. So I tie a knot there. 20 years as a climbing instructor, you think I'd be able to tie a knot. There we go. Slide that up. Alright, so it's important that's in the middle as well. That's going to help us. And now, I'm just going to tie one more knot to keep that in place. Like I say, any old knot will do, as long as it's going to be secure. Now what I'm going to do is take the excess string over the top of the kite, down the back. Like I said, this is going to make the tail, but we want to make sure that we have enough on the front there. So you can see it's the angle we've got there. This loop that went round the middle is coming straight out, and the string up the top is tight. Now, same way, I'm going to get a single piece of tape all the way down the back to secure that in place. So I can measure it right first time. That's it. So we have our attachment point. This is where we're going to tie the flying string to. If we were using different types, you could use a fishing line for the flying string, and a thicker string for the frame. That would work. Now on the tail, we want to have a little bit of weight. So same again, I'm going to use some tape just to make a little pretty little tail, because that will help hold the kite in this position whilst it's flying. You might find that once you're flying it, you may want to add a little bit more weight if you notice the kite's flying quite flat, to help bring it round this way, which will help give it lots of lift. So, I've got this little bit of stick left. I might add that onto the tail of my kite. There's a little knot, a little loop. Oh, I just cut right through the stick. Maybe I won't add that piece of stick. There's another one. So the elder is really light, it is a little bit soft. Let's try this piece. Okay, there we go. The tail of our kite. We'll add a few tape strips as well. And fold that in half. Let's start off. Get that over the string. Now you could actually take some time on the tail, maybe make some ribbons, some little bows, make it look quite nice. You may have noticed I'm more practical than pretty. Let's get another bit of tape on the tail. Fold that over in the middle, not all the way. And add that bit of string. There we go. So we now have our tail of our kite. Final thing to do is to attach some string. We've got the rest of the ball of the string there. So I could just keep it on the ball, or I could find myself a tougher stick. Let's go with this one. And what I'm going to do, I'm going to secure it onto that stick in the same way that I did the tail of the kite. Just made a little loop around the stick. Now I'm going to wrap and wrap lots and lots until I have all this string on a spool that when we're out flying the kite, it's easy to reel it in and let it out. So take a bit more string off there. That's what I reckon there, maybe 5 meters worth. And then I'm going to attach it onto the loop and this top section coming down. I'm just going to tie it on here in the middle. Now it's important we take our time with this one, because this one we really want to stay done. You'd hate to lose your kite mid-flight. Right, we are now ready to go and try it out. So the kind of places you may want to go and fly a kite, any of the city parks, big open spaces along the towpaths of the canal might be good to just steer clear of the water. Other things to watch out for, of course, overhead power cables. Make sure that any area that you're in is free of trees. You don't want to get stuck up in the branches. Nice big wide open areas. The big central part in Abbey Park is ideal. As long as people aren't playing football in it, you will be fine running around there. Well, there you go. That is our bin bag kite made with elder sticks and quite a lot of sticky tape. So hopefully you've enjoyed that. It'd be great to see some of your results. Get out there and give it a try. Thanks for watching.